Hello friends, welcome to your channel Geomatics. This is the continuation of the previous lecture of GNSS lecture series in the Prakash batch. So today we will discuss about the history of GNSS. In the first lecture we have understand the overview of the GNSS, what is GNSS and what we will study in the upcoming 3 units. So today we will discuss about the history of GNSS and GNSS system examples. Means basically there are many GNSS systems. Means every mostly large country have their global navigation satellite system, but there are most important mm, systems that cover mainly globally coverage, means that have globally coverage such as GPS, uh, GLONASS and Galileo. So these satellites cover globally, or their Galileo is under developing phase, but these three types of GNSS systems are very important for exam purpose. So we will focus on these three GNSS systems. And today we will discuss about the GPS, because we all know, we are familiar with the mainly GPS, which is a type of GNSS. So today we will discuss about the GPS. So first of all, we have to understand what was the history and what is the history of the GNSS, because we have study about at the stone age, living stones marking trace or reference mountains were used for the navigation purpose by the early humans. Later on, the discovery of constellation or relative position, means with um, uh, the navigation or location can be found out with the help of the celestial bodies, because they have the fixed position, or we can say like sun rises from the east and sunset in the into the west. So with the help of the celestial bodies, we the humans can be relate himself, or they can be navigated by the constellation of the relative position of sun, moon and stars were considered as a point of reference. Um, with the advancement of the communication technology, radio signals were used for finding location by measuring time taken for special radio signals. So for communication technology, or when we use the satellite for the navigation purpose, then radio signal are useful for the finding the location of any point. So the primitive navigation system, which was known as the LORAN, means long range navigation, was developed in the early 1940 by USA. It became operational in 1943. So LORAN was the first radio navigation system that provided aid to the marine radio navigation, because most of the important use of the satellites was helpful for the ships that move into the sea or ocean, so they can navigate themselves with the help of satellites, because um, into the large sea they cannot be navigate or locate himself to into the any direction. So it was very helpful for the marine system. It was based on the principle of time difference between the receipt of the signal from a pair of radio transmitters. As we study about this concept, so this was the principle that we have to calculate the time difference between the satellite transmitted the time, means radio signal at what time, and the receiver accept or receive the signal. So this time difference is calculated, and the it is multiplied with the speed of light to calculate the distance between the receiver and satellites. After that, the position can be calculated by the receiver. So that was the main principle behind the location or position calculation. It covered only 5% of the Earth's surface and just provided two-dimensional information. So in starting, LORAN, long range navigation, covers only 5% of the Earth's surface. But we all know that GPS cover globally. But in starting, means in early 1943, um, it covered only 5% of the Earth's surface, and it provide only 2D information, means we cannot find out the elevation information, or we can say Z information. But from the LORAN we can calculate our 2D information, means latitude and longitude, with an accuracy up to 250 meter. So at that time the accuracy was up to 250 meter. During the early 90s, the importance of GNSS was first realized by the US Department of Space. As a consequence, several US government agencies started putting efforts for designing and developing satellite system for the determination of three-dimensional position. So in 1940, we can only get 2D information, but in early of 1960, US Department focused on the satellite system and design or develop himself to find out the 3D position. So the US Department developed a navigation system named as the Omega, and it became the operational in 1971 and was shut down into the 1997. So it was the first radio navigation system from the aircraft which was operated by the US in cooperation with 6 partner countries. So US also make a navigation system named as Omega with the help of 6 partner countries like Argentina, Norway, Liberia, France, Japan and Australia. So it enabled the ships and aircraft. So main focus was for navigating the ships and aircraft to determine their position by receiving very low frequency radio signals. So from starting, satellites transmit the radio signals. It's a very important question which can be asked in the exam. So during the same time, US developed and deployed first satellite based navigation system known as the Transit. So US developed himself that satellite based navigation system which was known as the Transit. So this Transit name also known as the NavSat. NavSat means Navy Navigation Satellite System, because it was primarily used by the US Navy for determining accurate location information. So US Navy generally use the satellite for positioning himself, because this satellite feature for the position calculation were very helpful for the mariners, because we can't, or it was very difficult to locate or position themselves into the deep sea. So satellite can be helpful to them. So it was US Navy developed the first navigational system known as the NavSat or Transit. So Transit provided continuous navigation satellite service from 1964 to 1996, initially for Polaris submarines and later on for civilian usage. So primarily was focused on the into the Polaris submarines, but later on it was also eligible for the civilian usage. So it was also used for geodetic and hydrographic surveying. Means we started the surveying with the help of satellites in 1996, because Transit was operational between the 1964 to 1996. The advent of GPS made Transit as an absolute system. So Transit system was in service from up to the 1996. After that, the advancement of this navigation system was done, which was known as the GPS, Global Positioning System. So this GNSS system was only useful for the, or allowable to the merchant ship crews and surveyors, but after some time it was also allowable for the civilian purpose. So it makes very swift growth in the civilian. So major breakthrough was the Navista, which is also known as the GPS. So it is important. Sometimes it asks you into the exam. The roots of the GPS was closely connected to the launch of Sputnik satellite by the former Soviet Union in 1957. But a modern GPS came into existence in 1973 when US Department of Defense decided to develop satellite navigation system based on its previous system like Transit. As we have studied that GPS was the advancement of the Transit system, so it was developed by the US Department of Defense. When the first satellite was launched in 1978, the GPS was only intended for US military application. So GPS was only applicable for the US military, But today we know millions of GPS receivers are being used in the transport, commerce, variety of recreational activity. Means we all have the GPS receivers like in mobile phone, and it is also allowable for the civilian purpose also. In mid 1980s, the system was made available for civilian uses, especially in aviation industry. In by 1994, a complete constellation of 24 satellites was in orbit, initiating the GPS system's full operational capability. So this line is very important that GPS was fully functionable when 24 satellites of its navigation system was launched into the orbit. So it is important, and when it has a complete constellation, then it was very helpful, and it was useful for the civilian also. So it is important that 24 satellites was launched to make a complete constellation for the GPS. And its uses was understand when the Cold War rivalry was taken out between the US and Soviet Union. Now we can say USSR or Russia led to the space race and almost parallel development of GLONASS, means the Soviet system. So another navigation system was parallelly developed by the Russia, named as the GLONASS. So GPS and GLONASS are very important for exam purpose, but most important is the GPS. So these GLONASS and GPS was developed parallelly, and these both navigation system cover as the global coverage. So this topic is very important, GNSS systems examples, because we will focus only three types of GNSS systems: GPS, GLONASS, and you all know about the Galileo. So first we will understand or study about the GPS, because it is very important than the other GNSS systems. So three examples: first, GPS, GLONASS, and Galileo. In this section we will further discuss about them. So this is the only overview of the GNSS system. The other two main satellite based navigation system operational today are GPS and GLONASS, that are comes under to the GNSS 1 category. We have studied in the previous lecture. So these both systems were developed parallelly and was originally useful for the military networks only, with each one based on the constellation of 24 operational satellites in order to give the user an accurate position. So it was useful for the military purpose, but so in starting these GPS and GLONASS systems were eligible or operational for the military purpose, but after some time it was also allowable for the civilian also. So they completely changed their lives of common man. Now this system has the application in the aviation purpose also. So the aviation sector has greatly benefited from this technology, because every plane has the GPS tracking to monitor their location. So it is very useful for the aviation sector also. Civilians like hikers, private pilots, boat owners are making extensive use of satellite positioning. It is estimated that 9 out of every 10 new satellite navigation receivers are currently being sold for civilian or commercial use. Means in starting it was only applicable for military purpose, but every 9 out of 10 receivers are sold out for the civilian or commercial use, because there are different receivers, because military purpose have different receiver which um, uh, record or accept different types of code that are transmitted by the satellite. So that are only decoded by some specific receiver that are used in the military purpose, because they have the more accuracy than the civilian purpose. So that decrease in the accuracy for the civilian purpose are done intentionally, which is known as the um, selective availability. So we will study about that terminology also in the upcoming unit. But we here focus that after allowable the GPS system for the civilian also, they change completely their lives. So we have studied about the Polaris submarine, means it was useful. The GNSS system. Polaris submarines was a two-stage solid fuel nuclear armed submarine built during the Cold War by the US Navy. So Polaris submarines was used into the Cold War. GPS survey as the application in geodetic survey, and geodetic survey involves large area of land survey in which corrections are made to report for the curvature of earth. We can say that the curvature of earth are considered into the geodetic survey. So it is different from the plane survey. Hydrographic survey encompasses the measurement and description of features with affect marine navigation, construction, dredging, and exploration. Means related to the water or uh, marine navigation. The survey is known as a hydrographic survey. Delhi government has agreed. It is important line that Delhi government has agreed the usage of GPS in auto rickshaws and taxis in Delhi and NCR. This would enable the customers to have uniformity in fares and reach the precise location. So nowadays you have observed that every taxi, or say an example of Ola or Uber, so every taxi uses the GPS system, so they can easily find out the how much time will be taken to reach their destination, and what distance is between the two points. So all these things are computed by the GPS system, and Delhi government has allowed this usage of GPS. So first one is the GPS, and it is very important. So today we will focus on GPS, and we will see the overview of this GNSS system. And we all already know that GPS satellites were developed under the Navistar program of the United States. Hence, Navistar is commonly known as the Navistar GPS. So it is important that GPS is also known as the Navistar GPS, means navigation system with timing and ranging global positioning system. GPS means global positioning system, and Navistar means navigation system with time and ranging. And this is the advancement of the Navset. So it was planned for both civilian and military use. Navistar GPS was developed in three phases, and first phase was taken out into the 1973 to 1979, means concept validation, means whatever was they were planning in that phase, so they have the concept validation. After that they full development and test the satellites, and 1985 to till date production and deployment. So after launching 24 satellites, they were GPS system was fully functionable or fully operational. So GPS system cover the global surface, means any point onto the earth surface. GPS is based on the GNSS and maintained by the US government, because we will study about the three segment of the or components of the GNSS system. So most important was the control segment, and that control segment has the monitor satellites or monitor stations which update or monitor the satellites. So this maintenance is done by the US government, because it was developed by the US Navy, means US government also. And this GPS system is freely accessible to anybody with a GPS receiver. In 1978, the first experimental Block 1 GPS satellite was launched. By 1984, 11 more experimental Block 1 satellites had been launched to validate the concept. So this to represent this, how when the Block 1 or how many satellites was launched are considered into table 1.1, and this is the table in which this is the block 1, 2, 2A, 2R, 2RM, 2F, and total is the number of satellite. So this is the launch period, and this is the satellite status, means how many satellites was successfully launched and how many satellites were failed. and currently in orbit there are 31 satellites, but I think it's 32 satellites. But after launching the 24 satellite, the GPS system was fully completely operational. So this is the table, and but we have to read the theory. On the February 14, 1989, a new type of satellite was activated and the first modern Block 2 satellite was launched. By 1993 December, GPS achieved initial operational capability, indicating a full constellation of 24 satellites was available and provided the SPS, Standard Positioning Service. We will study about this SPS terminology in upcoming unit. But here it is very important that 24 satellites were launched, then it was operational and it has the capability to be operate, or we can say it was available to provide their position on any point onto the earth surface. And full operational capacity FOC was achieved, and 5 years later accuracy for civilian users increased from about 100 meter to 20 meter as a result of deactivation of selective availability. And this is the terminology we have discussed in early of the lecture. But if we talk about after full operational capacity, after this achievement, 5 years later, the accuracy for civilian user was increased from 100 meter to 20 meter, while the deactivation of selective availability. And selective availability is the intentionally causing error into the time information between the satellites and the receiver signal transmitted and acceptance. So after including the error into the timing information, it increase the error into the distance calculation. On that basis, the position calculation has been changed, or more accurately, position cannot be calculated. So after deactivation of this selective availability, we can easily achieve the accuracy from 100 meter to 20 meter for the civilian users. After that, in 2005, the modernization of GPS system began by launching the first satellite of type IRM or 2RM. It's actually IRM. No, it's 2RM, which supported a new military signal on L1 and L2, and the addition of second civilian code C/A on L2 frequency. So all these terminology L1 and L2, because satellites send the signal to the receiver, or we can say satellite transmit the signal continuously and receiver receive that signal or accept this signal to decode them to find out the location. But satellites send transmit the signal, and this signal contains two types of codes and two types of frequencies and one type of information for the navigation purpose. Navigation message, we can say navigation message. So the two codes are the P code and C/U code, and two frequencies are the L1 and L2, which has different frequency range, and navigation message has the information about the orbital parameters of the satellites, which is known as the FMS data. So we will all these things will be discussed in the upcoming unit, but today we are looking for the temporal upgradation of the GPS. So in 2005, GPS system began by launching the first satellite of type IRM, which support a military signal L1 and L2. Military signal is the P code, which is more precise than the C/A code, and the addition of second civilian code C/A, course acquisition code, on the L2 frequency. As of February 12, 2007, the space segment was built up by 30 operational satellites of Block 2A, 12 satellites of Block 2R, and 3 satellites of Block 2RM. So we all these things have seen into the table. You can refer the table. The addition of third civil signal L5 at 1176.45 MHz in Block 2F satellite has been given an entirely different and more efficient structure. So we will discuss about the GPS survey and all these terminology into the upcoming unit. So the block is the satellites associated with each phase of development of global navigation satellite system. Means how many satellites were planned for launching together. So that is known as a block, or we can say the satellite launch for the GPS system was into the block phase. SPS we will discuss in upcoming unit, but we have to know what is the SPS. SPS is the standard positioning service, which is used for determining the position and timing service that are available to all GPS users on a continuous worldwide basis with no direct charge. Means every user can calculate their position with the help of the satellite and receiver or GPS system. So it provides the position and timing service. Means it is free for all and without any direct charge. Because another type of positioning service is the PPS, precise positioning service, and it has some limitations. So anybody cannot use this type of service, but it has more accuracy than the SPS. So we will compare this type of positioning service in the upcoming unit. Now selective availability. Selective availability is the intentional degradation of the absolute positioning performance capabilities of the Navstar satellite system for civilian use by the US military. So it is the intentionally, it is very important. Selective availability reduce the accuracy for the civilian use to find out their position. Now another positioning service is the PPS, which is more accurate and are useful for the military purpose, which determine the position, velocity and timing service, which is available continuously worldwide to users authorized by the US. Means it require the US authorization to use the PPS, because it has different types of receivers which receive or decode the P code and which are used by the military of the US Army. Now the fully operational capability of GPS was achieved by the April 1995, signifying full availability of the military's secure PPS, precise positioning service. We have discussed about it. The oldest GPS satellite was launched on November 26, 1990 and became operational on December 10, 1990. So GPS satellite was launched on the 26th November 1990 and operational was on to the December 10, 1990. The recent operational GPS satellite was launched on to the May 28, 2010. Currently, it has 31 operational satellite providing signal. So I think up to the 2023, it is 32 operational satellites. But most important are two terms. First one is the 4 and second is the 24. Minimum 4 satellites are required for determining the position accurately, and 24 satellites, this number of satellites became the GPS fully functionable. So it is very important. Now you can refer the table for any block phase launching of the GPS satellites. Now other two types of GNSS system like GLONASS and Galileo we will discuss in the next lecture. It's Galileo. So if you have any doubt, you can comment us and you can join us for the quiz and PDF notes onto the Telegram channel, whose description will be available into the video description. So please like, share and subscribe our channel and do the preparation of GATE geometrics with the RGeometry.